Hey, drop.
All right, guys, welcome back to Buchanan County Sports Podcast, episode 28. How's it been, Tim?
Been very busy.
Been
We've been
busy.
busy, especially with all the sports that's going on.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
busy, yes.
Now, we'll dive right in. This is from February the 15th to February the 21st. The Black Diamond District Tournament, the JV Championship, was that Monday between Hurley and Grundy. One of the better games I've seen all year for varsity or JV. It was very competitive. I'm assuming you was there for that one, wasn't you?
I was there for that one, and I'm going to tell you, I thought Hurley was going to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, they came to play ball.
Yeah, they wasn't backing down, and they wasn't going away. Grundy could not put a stop to them there
Right.
late. They just kept going, and honestly, I believe a few more minutes, I believe it may have been.
I always say the last one has the ball
Yeah.
on those, and it happened that way.
And Grundy did get a little bit of a lead and everything, but they couldn't keep them back.
No.
They just kept coming. Girls district semifinals that night. Hurley and Council. Hurley would win 44-36. For Hurley, you had Jalen Dotson, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Skylar Baker, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Emily Mullins, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Brooklyn Owens, 5 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. Brianna Stacy, 2 points, 10 rebounds. Jada Stacy, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Haley Hurley, 3 points. For Council, you had Megan Hess with 13 points, Ella Rasnick with 12, Lindsay Ratliff with 11. Pretty even scoring there. You can't get no more even than that, I don't think. Moving on to Tuesday, it'd be the semifinals for the boys. Had Grundy over Hurley, 72-15. Tough ending for Hurley there. Hurley with Ethan Deal with 5, Gage Justice with 5, Logan Gage Justice with 3, Ethan Matney with 2. For Grundy, Ethan McClanahan, another big game with 25 points. Kyle Hunt, 16. Logan Fuller, 14. Braden Conway, 10. Jackson Deal, 5. Teddy Smith, 2. Pretty good performance from Grundy there. It was really Grundy just, overpowered him and everything with the inexperience by the Hurley squad and everything. But, Chris has done an excellent job over there with Hurley this year. A lot of these kids hadn't played in a few years, and he's loaded with freshmen and sophomores. Only one senior on the team, from my understanding. So it was a tough. It was a tough run, but I think he made the best of it, and I think the kids really come around to really respect him and everything. I know remember we was talking before about him taking them down to watch ball game at Pikeville College and everything, and he told me he took them to Gaddyland. Most of them had never been before, so they had an absolute ball.
See, that's what it's all about. Yeah. I got to give props to Chris Pack on that.
And definitely want to remember him in priors today. He's a little under the weather, this old crud that's been going around with everybody.
Yeah, I'm just – Chris and Zach Deal done such a great job, this varsity program, this boys varsity program.
Yeah.
Like you said, you mentioned it before, they've had kids that didn't even hardly even know how to dribble a ball.
Yeah.
But as the season went along, they figured out how to do that, how to pass, how to become one team. So I'm so proud of them. Even the guys on the Hurley team, I'm so proud of them. Just because they didn't quit and didn't give up, because they went hard.
That's the biggest thing. Once you get to about 0-10, 0-15, it's hard to keep getting up every day to go out there and play and stuff. And all them boys, they just kept going and everything. And kudos for him for not giving up and everything.
Yep.
District semifinals that night also, Council and Twin Valley. Twin Valley come out on top 57-44. Jacob Ray with 16 points, Gage Brown 7, Jesse Ray 8, Dakota Mayhorn 6, Ben Stevens 5, and Ty Owens 2. For Twin Valley, you had Blake Cooper with 13, including no, I'm sorry, that's not the game. Did you see the half-court shot he had? It was the third-place game.
I did.
The next night.
Yes, sir, I did.
Braden White with 20, Logan Dotson 7, Josh Keller with 3, and Brandon Mullins with 14. Then on to the next night, the consolation game, or third place game if you want to call it. Council would win it 49-38. Ethan Matney with 2 for Hurley, Tristan Short 14, Ethan Deal 11, Gage Justice 4, Jackson Harden 7. For Council, you had Jacob Ray with 18, Gage Brown 4, Jesse Ray 8, Dakota Mayhorn 8, Ben Stevens 9, Ty Owens 2. And let's see, girls district championship, Grundy 68, Hurley 26, Jalen Dotson with 6 points, 6 rebounds, Skylar Baker 7 points, 2 rebounds, Emily Mullins 8 points, 4 rebounds, Haley Hurley 3 points, Brianna Stacy 2 points and 5 rebounds. For Grundy, Destiny Armendariz 4 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 steals, Emma Davis 6 points, 3 rebounds, Kate Bostic, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals. Aaliyah Armendariz, 1 rebound. Kendall Brown, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. Sophia Belcher, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 1 block. Jade Vinsel, 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals. Leah Rasnick, 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Sierra Lowry, 2 points, 1 steal. Addison Bell, 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals. Madison Lester, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. Great season for Hurley and everything come out. They really piled up quite a few wins this year. Chris Wolford did a phenomenal job with them, for sure. And
once again, the scoreboard don't show it.
No,
but Hurley had a great season for the girls also, like you said, because they've come so far.
A few missing pieces, I believe, and phenomenal season for them, yes, without a doubt. And Chris Wolford as their coach there. Grundy, with that, moves on to the region as does Hurley. But on to the boys' side of things, Twin Valley and Grundy. Grundy with a 44-point win, 84-40. Twin Valley's Blake Cooper, who I mentioned earlier. This is where he had the half-court shot at halftime. 12 points, Braden White 8, Brandon Mullins 8, Hunter Smith 8, Logan Dotson 4. Ethan McClanahan with 26 points for Grundy, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Kyle Hunt, another big game, 11 points, 18 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. Braden Conway, a huge game for him, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. Logan Fuller with 8 points, 6 assists. Ryder Anderson with 6 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Jackson Deal with 11 points. Teddy Smith with 5 points, 1 assist, and 1 steal. But finishing up, the district campaign for Grundy and with a district championship there for the boys. Just a great season overall. Played some tough competition, in the 2A level and everything. But Jory did a really good job with the boys this year.
Oh, there's still more to come with that too, because they just won the district tournament.
Yeah.
Looking for some big things with them later on.
Yeah.
Especially next year.
Okay. I don't have all the stuff in front of me, but I know you're very keen on it here. We'll move on to the wrestling, the state championship that Friday and Saturday. Want to touch on that. We had Andrew Scarberry, Colton Clevenger, Reed Stiltner, Luke Shelton, Brody Ford, and Talon Looney all winning state championships. But, unfortunately, Grundy would lose as a team. First time in quite a few years, I do believe. They was on a pretty good stretch here of winning it. But just wanting to get your thoughts on that.
That's hard to swallow.
Yeah.
But on the other side of it, you can't. Those that won in semifinals, those 7, and we become with 6 champions, right?
Yeah.
So with those, they did exactly what they wanted to do. what we had to do. We had to win semifinal. Semifinal matches is your most points that you can score. So only thing beat us is we didn't have nobody in the wrestlebacks. We did, but they got beat out. We had Aiden White, and we had Lucas Vance, and we had But anyway, we had somebody else, and I apologize for forgetting who the other one was. But anyway, those in the wrestlebacks were still making points for a Royal Retreat, where we got beat out. Our three got beat out, and we was making 0 points in the wrestlebacks. So that was the difference from winning a state championship to not, because the only thing Royal Retreat had, they had 4 champions, had 4 in the state champions, so they had 4 in the finals, but they had a lot in the wrestlebacks. Kept making points and stuff. So that's why we lost that state championship.
Had three first timers as well with
Mason Boyd was the other one.
Yeah, Colton Clevenger, Reed Stiltner, and Brody Ford. Getting their first and everything. Two three-timers with Luke and Talon picking up their third, and of course Catfish, as you called him, Andrew Scarberry, getting his second now.
Yes, it was very important, but now we're losing. We're losing Quate. We're going to lose Talon. We're going to lose Brody.
Well, definitely glad to see that for Brody. It being his last attempt, and he's just been, just falling short a little bit over the last few years and everything. And it was really nice to see him get that finally.
Well, Brody has lost one match this year.
Yeah.
Then on the other side of that, you had Talon losing one match.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that. So that's good for the wrestling team.
Yeah, for sure. And something else I know you was at on that Saturday, the Region 1D indoor track. I know we've got results there. If you want to go over some of those, maybe just hit some of the high spots and everything.
I'll mention the top ones there, and very impressed with Grundy indoor track this year with Coach Loni Webb and Coach Christina Bane. Does such a great job. So 55-meter dash, and this is from Grundy, athletes from Grundy. 55-meter dash is Kelly Ratliff, finished 5th overall. That's pretty good. 300-meter dash, Kelly Ratliff again, finished 2nd overall. So then you had a 500-meter dash, Alea
Armendariz.
Yeah, Armendariz. She finished 3rd overall, and she does such a good job. Does a real good job. And 1,000-meter, they call her Veronica.
Yeah.
Because nobody can probably pronounce her name.
With a second place finish.
Yeah, with a second place. So 16-meter run, Destiny came in first in a 16-meter run. 32-meter run, Ella Robertson come in 4th. 55-meter hurdles, Lucy Savage come in 3rd, so she'll be going to state.
Yeah.
4x2 relay come in 1st, so all the relay team will go to state. 4x4 meter relay come in 2nd, so they will go as also. 4x8 meter relay will go. They finish 1st. High jump, Madison Lester come in 2nd. Long jump, Madison Lester come in 6th. Triple jump, Sierra Lowry come in 4th. Shot put, Cheyenne King. Of course, Cheyenne's already going to state as well. So now the boys, Trey Taylor, 55-meter dash, came in 4th. He was so upset. I talked to him after his 55-meter dash time, and I said, "Man, you slowed down." He said, "Yeah, because when I come out of my blocks slid sideways as I come out."
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, that's understandable." 1,000-meter run is Keyston Hartford. He won that.
Keyston, I talked to him at the Grundy game other night and everything, and I said, "Man, you got a chance to do something that's never been done around here before. Probably never will. Getting that indoor track state championship to go along with the outdoor and the cross country. An incredible career for sure."
That's why he did not play basketball this year.
Yeah,
he's wanting to do that. Of course, you already knew that. So 1,600-meter boys is Parker Hughes finished 6th. 3,200-meter Keyston Hartford finished 1st. 55-meter hurdles Parker Hughes finished 4th. We got council on here. I'm sorry, council was there. Ella was there and Caitlin was there. I do apologize. I did see her. So Ella won the 1,000 meter and the 500 meter, first place. So she'll automatic advance to state.
Yep.
And Neil and I was talking about, and Caitlin Steele came in 55 meters dash at 8th. So, and that's the first time I've seen Caitlin there.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see the council show up and actually show out for the team, because for the school with just 2 girls.
Oh yeah, for sure. But busy week, that's for sure.
Yes.
Got anything else? And before we move on to our interview with Tass?
I don't have nothing. I'm very proud of our wrestling club.
Yeah.
Very proud of them for having to do what they had to do. They went from semifinals and done what they did. The only reason why we lost state is because we didn't have nobody in the wrestle. We did have somebody in the wrestlebacks, but we didn't have enough in the wrestlebacks. They got beat out, and Roller Street had more in the wrestlebacks than they did in the finals. But we'll talk Tass more about that up next. But I'm so proud of the wrestling club and our seniors that wrestles for the wrestling club, and plus our basketball teams. You know, Grundy won the district tournament, BDD tournament.
Both
so
boys and girls.
Both boys and girls. I'm proud of them, and nothing against any other team in the county, because we are Buchanan County people. We are the Buchanan County Sports Podcast. We want all our county teams to do good. But yeah, it's been a busy week, been a good week, and it's all went out on a high note. So I'm very proud of all of our kids in Buchanan County.
Yeah. All righty, we'll go ahead and move on to the interview. All righty, guys. Next up here, we're pleased to be joined by Mr. Tass Robertson. Himself and his dad and his family have done so much for the kids in the county as far as the wrestling club goes. Gave many opportunity and stuff, as we were saying earlier, opened the door for them. And, you know, I've always loved when you post the thing about like all the different things that has happened with these kids that have came through, the police officers and the doctors and just all the different careers that they've went on to because of the door that you and your family helped open for them and stuff. But we'll move on, and Tim's got some questions for you. What
I like about the Grundy Wrestling Club, I was part of it.
Yeah.
And once you're part of that club, you're always in that club.
It's like a fraternity, ain't it?
Yeah, and
it's a family.
It's a family. Once you're there, you're a family, and it made me feel so good. And I use it when I do community meditation and offer meditation at my church. I use Mr. R's saying, always give back to your community. And he was big about giving back to your community. And he was huge on that, because we wrestled. Mm-hmm. And when it was time for the Little League, he made sure Kevin Dresser was our coach at that time, just our time. Mm-hmm. He made sure that you was placed at a elementary school to help mentor these young kids.
I know I've heard you talk about that. Is that, I hate to break away from it, but is that something that's still happening today with a lot of you wrestlers in high school that you...
It does, Michael. I mean, you know, it's like we're getting ready to get started right now, and I mean, we've got Ethan at Riverview, and we've got Gabe Pfizer over at Hurley, and we've got Henry Brown and a couple of the other high school kids that's going to be with him at Twin Valley. And you know, the other side of this is you know, Gabe will be taking a couple of those varsity kids over to Hurley with him every day, and then Ethan will, I think that Reed Stiltner and Jacob Smeltzer is going to be helping Ethan at Riverview. So I mean, it's really the same. It's the same system that, you know, Tim. It's kind of like what you're saying. You know, it's like when you've got your heroes sitting there with you.
Yeah.
That can show you things. I mean, it really helps in the bonding and the growth.
And you know, I'm sure it was that way with you two growing up. I'm sure there was people that you had watched coming through that had helped you, and it's just paying it forward.
I can sit here and tell you, David Wimmer himself. I mean, I thought he was next to God, and I mean, to this day, I mean, they better not be anybody say anything bad about Wimmer around me. You know, I mean, and he's gone on and he's had a great career too. You know, I mean, he's been a teacher and a coach, and I mean, he's done a great job. I mean, it's kind of like what you were saying before is, you know, we've been really blessed with our on the mat success, and that's something that whenever Dad would talk about it, he'd always say, well, that's really just the bait.
Yeah.
You know, and Tim will tell you, everybody likes to get their hand raised.
Everybody, yeah.
You know, it's like that feeling second to none. But now, where we really like to say our success lies is the things you were saying before is, I mean, when you go through the program and we've got 100% high school graduation rate, when a lot of those years, you look at the state of Virginia, you look at the national average, you know, there was a period of time it was less than 50%.
Right.
You know, and then you look at another thing, and I throw this out there a lot too, is it's a 92% higher education rate.
Yeah.
Now, that's not everybody going and getting a college education.
Yeah. Right.
What that is everybody in that group has done something more than a high school education.
There you go.
I mean, me personally, I mean, I think if there's somebody that's certified to run a $2 million piece of underground equipment, and they're making $100,000 a year, that's a success. I don't care what anybody says, and they need to go into the group of the guys that's done great.
Success is being able to provide for your family a better life than you have.
And that's what I think that all these guys try to do. You know, it's when you go back, I mean, Tim, we've probably had 50 kids come through that are coaches.
Yeah.
You know, we've had people that goes on and I mean, Michael Deal.
Yeah.
He's curing cancer.
Yeah.
Like he literally works at Duke. He makes up the medicine, and he cures the child's cancer that he's treating.
Yeah.
I mean, some of this stuff it's just unbelievable. I mean, Scott Justice, he went on and he was a Navy SEAL.
I was in the same grade with Scott at Hurley, and you know, he eventually transferred over to Grundy, but he's just a great human being, you know, just a great person.
And the whole time he was in the service, he was coming back in and talking to the team during wrestling season. I mean, he'd give them a little bit of this is what's going on in my life. But then, I mean, I remember one kid, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but he was having a hard time getting off the bottom. And I came into practice that day, and I mean, he was a ball of fire. I mean, as soon as they said go, he was up and out.
Yeah.
And I asked him after practice, I said, man, what happened to you in there? And he said, Scott was on top of me. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, the first time I didn't move, and he said, get up. He said, he's a Navy SEAL. He can make me disappear. He said, when he tells you to get up, you get up.
Yeah, intimidation.
But I mean,
that's good.
You see a lot of this stuff with these kids, though, that comes through the years. And I mean, some of them, they may have a tough home life. Yeah. Some of them may have a very blessed home life. Mm-hmm. You know, but through the process, you'll see all of them, they find a common bond. They find a level of grit. Mm-hmm. And Tim, I think this is probably the thing that Dad was most proud of, is they learned to overcome obstacles.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we talk about wrestling and, you know, I might say, hey, Tim, you've got this stud guy from in the region finals, and he's got a good high crotch. Mm-hmm. If you watch out for his high crotch, you're going to be able to beat him.
That's right.
And, you know, we've already got our plan formulated, and we go out here and we apply it. Now, before we got to talking about that, you may have thought, this guy that I've got in the region finals is the toughest guy I've ever seen.
Right.
He's a 2-time state champion. But whenever we apply this plan and we're able to work on it, then it's like, okay, then this is how we're going to succeed in this.
Right.
And I mean, I think that's really what gets these kids to that place of success in life, you know, because they start seeing things that, you know, they're the elephant in the room, you know, and it's how do you eat an elephant? You know, it's like one bite at a time, and that's not going to be all done in one sitting.
No.
And I mean, I know that there's a lot of people, they come in those early years, and people's already wrote them off as, well, that kid's not going to be very good, and that kid's not going to be very good. And then 2 years later, they've been sitting over there eating that elephant the whole time.
Yeah.
And we've got a state champion out of this guy that everybody else had wrote off before he'd even started high school.
Well, you said that right there. I'm going to point one man out on our lineup right now is Smeltzer. Come in as a freshman. Done excellent so far. Finished second in state. So that is a big help already for the team. Not just for him, but for the whole team. Now we can build on that. We've got 3 more years to build on that.
And Tim, he's a good kid. He's a solid guy in the room. He works hard. I mean, and he's a good leader. I mean, he's not somebody that you have to stay on to get hard work out of.
No, he's a good young man.
And this is another one of those things that is always, it helps you in wrestling and helps you in life, but he's very coachable.
Yes.
And it's we had a couple of things through the year that he's wanting to get better at this, he's wanting to get better at this, and we work on certain positions, and then you see him grow through the season. And I think that he was really happy with being in the state finals. Now, he wasn't really happy with his results after it was over, but I think that we're under 10 people that's been in the state finals as a freshman. I mean, it's a pretty high standard he's set for himself.
Right. But now you got to look, he got beat from the same guy the week before in regions.
Yes, and a returning state champ.
But he wrestled a lot tougher in the state finals than he did the regional finals. So he improved within a week.
And that's part of the whole process. And when I say this, we may or may not see him again, and he's the type of kid that he's going to just keep coming, and he's going to give it everything he's got the next time too.
Yeah.
And you were talking about Smeltzer as for a guy in the new school, and I mean, but we should have a really good group again next year. So. I mean, we've got Colton coming back as a returning state champ. We've got Reed coming back as a returning state champ. We've got Catfish coming back as a returning state champ. And I think that Aiden's going to do a lot better than he did this year. I think that Lucas Vance is going to do a lot better than he did this year. And and we've got a couple of kids that's been out of the lineup that are waiting in the wings. I mean, Henry Brown's a stud, and I mean, and he's going to do a real good job for us.
I think so too.
I mean, I'm not going to put everybody in their weight classes yet. We're still finishing up from last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've kind of looked at the AA tournament from this year, and I've pulled the seniors out of it, and I kind of know what we're looking at out there, and I think that we're going to have a pretty good competitive team at Southern Gap too.
In AA.
In 2A. Yes.
And I seen on Facebook, of course you see everything on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I see on Facebook that a Royal Retreat fan posted, said that Grundy Wrestling Club set the bar high. And they made us work our tails off to get to that bar, get to that high. Now that we beat you, let's go dominate 1A and 2A. That as a former wrestler, as a former person that loves wrestling, to me that was very respectful from them. Could have been a lot more harsh words said, but they did in that one.
Yeah, I know you said they was very respectable.
They was.
And Tim, when I say this, through the years they have a very loud crowd, and we have a very loud crowd.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if you put 2 loud crowds together, there will be some turmoil.
Yes.
Now, through the years, we've got great respect for Royal Retreat, and I think they've got great respect for us.
Right.
Whenever they won the region, I was the first person to go shake their hand and tell them congratulations on what they did. When they won the state, I came in before the finals and I said, hey guys, I want to shake your hands and tell you congratulations. I said, I don't want to come over in the middle of your party. Somebody might stick me with a, or hit me in the back of the head or something. Right. I said, but you guys have had a heck of a season, and you got a lot to be proud of. I said, and Tim, this is really the truth, and you'll kind of get me. I said, the only thing that I really hate for you guys in all this is that it was our last year.
Yeah. Because
I sort of feel like, in all the press that we've seen through the season, nobody's talked about Royal Retreat.
Right.
They've talked about Grundy's last year of wrestling. Right. And, those kids earned their press too. And
they earned their respect.
And it's
everybody's respect.
And it's kind of like what you was saying in last week's thing when you're talking about, we had 7 kids in the state finals. I can't ever be, I can't ever say a bad thing about it, about that. There was one year we won a state title with 1 state champion, so, it's a heck of a standard, but it showed how deep that they were.
Right.
And, and I don't want to try to say that consolidation should happen because of athletic stuff.
Right.
But one of the benefits of us consolidating is going to be the enrollment.
Yes.
This year we had 2 open weight classes. And I may be wrong with this. I remember when we were in school that Chris Deal, he'd been cut from the basketball team. And we went over and talked to him and said, why don't you come over here and wrestle for us? And he won a state title that year.
Done well. Yes.
And, I feel like that we'll have some other opportunities to find kids that we hadn't had in the past. We've been competing in 1A, but the truth is our kids will compete against anybody in the state on a high state and sometimes on a national level. We had White last year, and he'd won a couple of national titles. But what I really think, when we get all this coming together at Southern Gap, that we're going to have a lot more kids to work with. We're going to have a lot more opportunities. This is going to sound kind of crazy, but I kind of go back. When we were in high school, I remember that they were talking about doing teams at Hurley and doing teams at Twin Valley. And as a little bit of the numbers started to decline, and I guess we're 25 years out. I can say it now. They kind of pushed the program out. Right. That they said that they had low numbers and it would be better for them if there wasn't a program there. And so what I think was really good for us was coming out of COVID, we were able to get our youth league started back up in the county, and we've got a program at Hurley for the Hurley kids to get started. We've got a program at Twin Valley, and it's kind of like I was saying about Henry Brown. Henry was in that first group of kids that was at Twin Valley.
Right.
And over the course of these last couple of years, he's turned into a real stud for us. And I like seeing that stuff. But Tim and Michael, it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about Dad. It's really good that these kids have on the mat success. I don't ever want to say, we've got 28 state titles. We've got more state titles than any sport in the state of Virginia. When we talk to Mark Warner or we talk to Morgan Griffith, and they're like, hey, you guys keep it going. Said that every time somebody talks to me about Virginia sports, it's your wrestling. And
that's special.
We had Jim Jordan call us this year and I didn't realize
he's a former wrestler as well.
And I didn't realize it when I was talking to him. He's sitting there talking about being in the Beast of the East and our kids wrestling against his son and all this type of stuff. And
wow,
so it's like we were a lot more intertangled than what we even knew with him. But I really, I'm really proud of what we've done through the years on the mat. And I don't want to trivialize it and say that means nothing. But it's like what we were saying before, you know. I mean, whenever you see, I got a message one day, and this kid never placed in the state tournament. He never made it to state, and he'd wrestled for me at Prater, but he'd wrestled all the way through. He messages me one day and he says, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I'm married. I got my car.
There you go.
I got my house. I got a good job. I got my credit score up.
There you go.
And I've got my stuff together." That might not have been the words he used, but I mean, we know what it, and that's what it's really about. You know, it's when you see these kids that and I say this like they come from a tough home life. It's not only that, it's like everybody has struggles.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And it's like everybody has things that they had to overcome to get to that next step. And I mean, I've joked about this through the years, and I mean, I'll tell anybody that asks, I have no idea what you'll need.
That's true.
But I will guarantee you'll find it in that room.
Quickly.
When you got, somewhere along the line, it's, if you need somebody to give you a pat on the back, you'll find a pat on the back in that room.
Yes, you will.
If you need a lot of kids probably ain't getting at home.
If you need a boot in the butt, you might get a boot in the butt in that room.
They probably ain't getting that either.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you just need somebody that's going to grind with you, and it's like, hey, let's go, buddy. Me and you's going to work together, and we're going to get better, and we're going to do the best we can.
Yes.
And you know, that's more than wrestling. That's life. You know, and and that's why, I mean, Tim, you know too. It's like that's why we see these kids coming back through the years. I mean, we'll have people that's helping with the team. That there's some years we've had 6 or 7 kids in the room, and it's like having a junior college training with you.
Yeah, you know, Tim was talking to her when you all had regionals down here and everything about kids coming in. You know, a lot of them may be in a work uniform, cold grit on their face, but they was there to watch the boys and
support.
You have so many that comes back and supports the next generation.
Well, and it's one of those things that, I mean, it's kind of like you were talking earlier, and it's that family.
Yep.
You know, Wade Chalice came in here for many years to the wrestling camp.
Yeah.
At the end of wrestling camp, he would give the talk, and it'd be at the pig roast. And he would start talking to us at the pig roast, and it would normally be something to the effect of, you know, guys, you've got something here in Grundy that nobody else has in the country.
That's right.
And we're like, now Wade,
he knows.
well, thanks for the compliment, but you know. And he says, no.
He knows.
He said, you don't understand. He said, you're not a wrestling team. He said, you're a family.
Yeah.
He said, now you
Goes
may go
way beyond, right?
He said, you may go compete against other wrestling teams. And
That's
they
right.
may think that they're a wrestling team competing against another wrestling team. He said, but it's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
He said, you guys care about those kids.
Yes.
You care about every one of them, not just the first string, and not just the second string.
No.
And that every kid in that room, you would compromise yourself and put yourself in a bad situation to try to see them have some measure of success.
That's right.
They walk off that mat and walk out of practice or walk out of a wrestling event or whatever. It don't stop there.
No.
You guys, have the concern and everything.
And it's kind of like what we've been sitting here talking about. It's that wrestling season's over, and we're not saying, okay, now go have a good time.
It's starting over.
It just seems to me like it's never over with you all.
My joke,
because like they're family, so it's every day,
My joke as far as wrestling season goes is we try to enjoy Saturday night after the state tournament.
Yeah. And you do. You do a good job with that.
Now, and Tim, it was kind of like I was telling you. Somewhere between midnight Saturday night and midday Sunday morning, I've probably already pulled the seniors out of the state tournament to see what we're looking at for the next year. We may have a couple of kids that's already came up to the wrestling gym that didn't like where they finished and is already starting to work on making sure that don't happen again to them.
Yeah.
And
it starts over next year because it's getting after that state champion night. The next day,
it kind of reminds me if you've ever watched Friday Night Lights in the last like 2 minutes of the movie, he's pulling the little magnets off the board.
That's what Tass does.
And that's kind of what I'm doing with that state tournament, because I mean, I want to know who's out there, and I want to know where our guys are at. And it's like this year, it's a more difficult shuffle because we were 1A, and I'm having to evaluate 2A.
Yeah.
But realistically, I pulled all the seniors out of there, and I put our guys in, behind whatever placement the 2A guy had, and I've got an idea of where we'd be.
Starting for next season already.
And realistically, I expect us to do better than wherever that's at.
I think so.
Because, I mean, this is something else that people's told me through the years and Tim, I really think this is great. And you've been around wrestling a long time, that they said, Tass, you guys are one of the only programs in Virginia that gets better every year. And I said, well, we don't always have a better team than the year before. And they said, that's not what I'm talking about.
Agree.
Said, I'm talking about your kids. He said, each year, your kids will be, say that they're not going to qualify for state at the end of their freshman year.
Okay.
He said, by the end of the next year, they're in the state tournament and they're knocking on the door of a medal if they're not placing.
Yep.
So that
said, that's not just one time.
No.
I've
Two or three times.
I've sat here and I watched these kids all over. He said, the other programs, if the kid comes in and he's third place in the state as a freshman,
he's happy.
He may be third place in the state as a senior.
Yeah.
Content. But there's something that goes on there that keeps those kids wanting more.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to what we were saying about with the getting a higher education.
Yeah.
It's, you see these kids that, I mean, it's easy to take the status quo, but when your mindset has always been to do more than the minimum, you tend to do more than the minimum.
Well, just like you said earlier, the door's always open.
Yep.
You got to step through it.
Well, and that's, Tim, that's what Dad always said. The kids would come in and they'd say, Mr. Robertson, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. And he'd say, well, boys, I didn't really do anything. All I really did was open a door. And you had to walk through it, and it was your journey. And, and you get to looking at the journeys that we've seen through the years. I mean,
we've talked about a lot of people. You talked about David Wimmer. But you know who comes to my mind most to anybody that's ever been through the Grundy Wrestling Club is Greg Stiltner. I loved that boy. I seen where he came from. Mm-hmm. Your dad brought him into your family. Now he owns his own. He went to the University of Iowa, graduated, owns his own Stiltner business, electrical business, married. He owns some hotels. That is so much of a success story, that your dad helped him with.
Tim, Greg's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, he really is. I mean,
sounds like you could literally do a book on all the different success stories.
You can. I mean, we could sit here for 3 hours.
Some guys that are, you've seen them work, I mean, and it was, I don't know, he was as hard a worker as anybody. I mean, and
3-time.
3-time state champion. He wrestled at the University of Iowa. He was in the Big Ten finals. I mean, if he hadn't blew his knee out in the Big Ten finals, I'm pretty sure he'd have made All-American that year.
He would have.
That was his junior year.
Yeah.
And then his senior year, he was undefeated. He major decision to the guy who finished third in the NCAAs. And he slipped a disc in his back and didn't get to finish his senior year.
I'm just so proud of Greg.
But now, the things that he's done in life, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he's made a wonderful life for himself.
He sure has.
And he's, it's, you talk about some of the financial successes he's had, but I mean, even this year, I mean, he sent us a donation and just to say, hey, thanks for helping with the wrestling club. And I mean, that's the stuff that you can't put into words.
That's because of Grundy Wrestling Club, is because he's successful.
And well, Tim, this is kind of where I'm at, and I mean, I kind of feel like I get this from Dad, but it's not us that made the success. We may, it's kind of like having a plant. Mm-hmm. We may have watered the plant, we may have nurtured the seed, we may have put it in a good environment.
Right.
But it's every one of those kids. It was in every one of those kids all the time. I mean, they just had to be put in the right environment and been nurtured the right way and given the right opportunity, and then they can grow and they could be Greg.
Right.
I mean, they can just go be great dads, and they can go be great husbands, and they can be,
that's right,
great people in their community. I mean,
that's right.
That's, in the end,
that's what we're
as funny as it is to say, that's better than any title. I mean, and I've joked about this through the years, and you probably see some of this in my posts on Facebook. That, let's see, we got 28 state titles, and then we've got 8 runner-ups. And I think we've got 3 thirds. So that's 39 times we've been in the top 3. Okay. Now, I'm 50 years old. That means 78% of the time of my lifetime,
you was in the top 3.
Wow.
Grundy has finished in the top 3. Now, there's a lot of teams that are great programs.
Yes.
That don't get one.
I know.
That they put in a lot of effort, they put in a lot of time, but when I say this, and I told somebody else this too, is it's a lot of these programs, and Tim, you'll know kind of what I'm talking about, is it's normally a 4-year commitment.
Yes.
That you get a group of parents that'll come in and they'll stay with those kids until they graduate, and then they're gone.
Start all over again.
And I think that's really what the you can see with our program is that whenever we made that commitment, we stuck with it. I mean, you've heard that the story that Dad would tell all the time about you have bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah, that was,
and it's like they say, well, you have bacon and eggs for breakfast. Well, the chicken, it's got an interest in your breakfast. But that pig's committed. and I like to think we've been committed through the years. Yes. Dad told me one time, he was talking about cutting costs, and we were looking at how to manage the club a little bit tighter and this type of stuff. And I said, well, we're paying for everything.
Yes.
If we cut back a little bit on some of that. And he looks at me and he says, son, let me tell you about how it was when I grew up. He said, I had a basketball coach come to me and say, Red, I said, why don't you come with us? We're going to go play the teams in the area. And it's like travel ball in the 40s, but before they ever called it that.
Right, yeah.
And he said, and we'll go each one of these schools each weekend, and we'll eat while we're over there, and we'll play, and then we'll come back. And Dad said, well, Coach, I'd love to do what you're saying, but we don't have any money. And Mom and Dad feed me at the house.
Right.
And we don't, to do what you're talking about, I can't be going on these trips and eating out of a restaurant and doing these things you're talking about. And the coach says, well, that's okay, son. He said, you just let me know whenever you need money and I'll pay for it. And Dad said, I took him up on that. Mm-hmm. He said, but you never know how bad you feel when you're the only kid on the team that has to go ask the coach for help. He said, you feel like everybody's looking at you funny. Yeah. And that they're looking down on you and you feel like you're using him. And he said, whenever we got that club started, he said, I wanted to make sure that none of those kids felt like that. And that's why everybody gets it. It's like if we go on a trip,
he took care of it.
Tass Robertson goes up and asks Raymond for some money.
That's right.
And
that's right.
And
that's right.
And I mean, that's just the way it is. And I mean, we've talked a little bit, and you'd asked me before about kind of what to expect at Southern Gap.
Yeah.
And Tim, when I say this, I don't want to play the clip from The Wolf of Wall Street that I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
But that's kind of where I'm at.
Right.
We're going to continue the same thing that we've done the whole time with Grundy High School, right, with Southern Gap High School. Now, we've got some opportunities over there that we didn't have at Grundy High School.
Right.
There's a wrestling room over there that it's not quite as big as the wrestling gym's mat room, but it's adequate mat space to have practice in. We've got other training opportunities up there with a cardio room and some weightlifting things. So I mean, it's kind of the things that we have already at the wrestling gym, we would be able to have on site. And my big concern, and you guys think about this with consolidation, is time.
Yes.
And when we were in school, it took us about an hour after high school to get up to the wrestling gym.
Right.
And then we'd have wrestling practice, and then it'd
walk right down to practice now.
And then it'd take most people probably an hour back home. So right, it was a 4-hour process of after school to getting home.
Right.
Well, now with this wrestling room and the other facilities over there, we get out of school at 2:30.
Yeah.
We can have practice from 2:30 to 4:30 and be done with practice. The kids that would need transportation can be transported back to their middle schools.
Right.
Go send somebody in a van to Twin Valley, send somebody in a van to Hurley, send somebody in a van to Council.
Right.
And then that makes it easier on those parents that would, instead of having to drive back and forth every day, they're getting home.
That's great.
Probably at 5:30. Good. Which is before we got out of practice when we were in high school.
You're exactly right. Yes.
Now, the people's asked me about the wrestling gym. The wrestling gym is part of the Grundy Wrestling Club.
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of people don't understand the distinction here. And the Grundy Wrestling Club is it's a tax-free organization that has been established to provide opportunities in wrestling to the children of Buchanan County.
Yes.
Now, in what we're doing, we're an independent club. We're an off-site practice facility. So, and I'll put this in quotes, technically, we do not service a school.
Right.
Okay. The Grundy Wrestling Club and Grundy High School are two separate entities.
Yes, they are.
Grundy High School has 28 state titles. The Grundy Wrestling Club, Lord, Tim, if we got to going back, and we're counting freestyle states and this type of stuff. I mean, the Grundy High School has 171 state championships.
Yes.
Individuals.
Yes, because it was in school, VHS.
If you look at Grundy Wrestling Club, I mean, we're probably 300,
yes.
You know, because a lot of those same kids was wrestling freestyle and doing the same.
Right.
And I don't want to, I've never really counted it this way, but I want a freestyle state title. So I mean, and so I mean, that's one of the guys that didn't win a VHSL state.
Right.
So I mean, there's that side of it too.
Yes.
But I think as a whole, it's anybody that's needing to come back up and have an after a late night workout, they're still going to have the gym to work out.
Still available.
Anytime that they're going to need a morning workout that they couldn't get into the school, then they're going to be able to get there. If there's bad weather and we can't get into the school because of weather difficulties, there's opportunity to work out in the gym.
Good. That's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of the Grundy Wrestling Club was going to close its doors, and we don't need that in this area.
Oh, no, Tim. I mean, when I say this, it's I feel a commitment to help kids.
That's right.
You know, and I mean, Dad always did things this way, and I mean, I'm not my dad.
No.
You know,
you're not.
I really wish that there was some way I could twinkle my nose and I wasn't here and you had him at my age. You know, I mean, I think he could do a lot better than I do.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna do the best I can, and I'm gonna try to help where I can. You know, I mean, I know that we've got a need in this county, and I think that we've got a good plan for success, and that there's been a lot of people that's been able to take that plan and shoot for the moon, and I think that there's a whole lot of them in the stars if they didn't get it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you so much to you and your family. I loved your dad and still love your dad. Love your family too. It's just very, very good program. And it's not always win, win, win. We got to do this, got to do that. You can get beat out of your state tournament. You still get a hug and a pat on your back. So let's get it back at it, get it next year. That's what I like about Grundy Wrestling. There's not just, it's family, as you call it.
Well,
it's family.
And Tim, that's kind of like what Wade was talking about, you know, whenever he's talking about it. He says, you know, a lot of the times you'll see these other programs that the weak kid on the team's the weak link.
Yeah.
So you know what that means?
Yeah.
That means every week, whenever he got pinned, he got chewed out because he got pinned.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you can't help it if you're getting pinned. No. Sometimes making it out of the first period was a success.
That's a win.
You know, and it's and it's kind of like Wade. He's like, yeah, you see those other schools, they're wanting to put him out beside the road, but they're like, well, shoot, it'd be a forfeit if we do, so bring him anyways. But it's
it's a body.
Yes,
it's a body.
Yeah. But I really feel like, and I mean, I might be wrong. I mean, but I really feel like that we care about these kids on a level that most people just don't. You know, you normally have a season commitment from everything, and I mean, and I don't, you know, and on the same end, I don't want to hack on anybody that just has a season commitment, you know, because those guys are great coaches too, you know. Well, I mean, but I know what we do, and I know how we do it, and I just, you know, when I say this, whenever you see Coach Pfizer taking kids to Iowa hunting with him, or you know, or
Raymond takes them to the farm,
or Raymond's taking them over to the farm, or Raymond's
anything.
You can just about, we could talk about Raymond too. I mean, you want to talk success stories. I mean, Raymond's done done wonderful for us. And
he was there when we was there.
Well, Tim, this is what I like to try to look at the club as a body. Okay.
Yeah.
And I might be wrong in this, and this might be my ego doing this too, but it's like, I'm the brain. Okay. Coach Pfizer is the back.
Okay.
Raymond is the soul.
I agree 100%.
Wow.
I agree.
And that's how I feel about is if you want to know what Grundy Wrestling's all about, ask Raymond You ask Raymond that question, and you'll be here longer than you will with me.
That's true.
I see some smiles popping up over here, by the way.
Well.
Lonnie's over here.
But I am so proud of Grundy Wrestling Club. I'm so proud, and we'll wrap this up, but I am so proud of Grundy Wrestling Club. I'm proud that I was a small part of it. A small part of it. And I talk to your sister every now and then on Facebook, and I remember when she's a little bitty girl running around up there.
Mm-hmm.
And she was, you know, I still call her little sis. Because, you know, we're just like family.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so proud of Grundy Wrestling Club. I'm so proud of what you are still doing. Not only you, but you've got some other coaches that does a lot. You're the brains, so you got to sit back and really think about, well, how are we going to spend this money? Because it takes a lot of money this day and time. But you do it. You take time out of your time to do this. And I am so proud just to be from Grundy, Buchanan County, and we're proud of you guys for just sticking in here with us.
Well,
looking forward to Southern Gap High School.
Well, Tim, I appreciate it. And, you know, it's kind of like I said to Mike Cason. He's the rules interpreter with the state, and he was talking to me, and you know, I asked him before, you know, when I heard we were consolidating, I said, well, is there anything we can do to keep the records going? And he said, Tass, there's not. He said, it don't matter if you name it Grundy, that it can't be.
It's in a different school.
Well, yeah, he said it's a new school. Yeah. You're taking records from 3 different places, and you can't do that. He said it's got everybody starts over new. And I said, okay, well, Mike, I guess we're going to have to do it again.
We'll just start there and go for 30.
And it's like we got our standard, and we know what we're chasing now.
Yeah.
I mean, for a long time, we didn't think we'd even be close to Granby.
No, that's
true.
true.
You remember when we was in school and we'd see that Granby record, and we're thinking, Lord, they got 22 state titles. Lord, we'll never be that.
But you did.
And
you set a standard, that's for sure.
We've climbed the ladder.
But thank you for being on this show, man. I'm so appreciative of you.
Thanks for having me.
Much.
Thank you, man.
And thanks for all you do for these kids in the county. You know, I mean, it's like I was saying before. This podcast, it's really helpful, and I mean, I think it's really good for the parents and the kids to be able to see their kids promoted, and you know, and the younger kids, you know, being able to see these kids that it's like I was saying before about our wrestlers. You know, you see your hero on a podcast, and it's like, oh, let's
I want to be there.
Yeah, one day I will be.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to be that guy.
Good deal. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for everything.
I love you, brother.
And I love you guys too.
Thank you, man.
If there's anything I can ever do to help, you let me know.
All right. All righty, guys. Next up here, we've got Loni Webb and Christina Bane of the indoor track and field team. Tim?
I'd like to start off just saying that you two can talk a girl or a boy into anything.
Running through a wall.
You're so good at it. If they don't want to run 1,800 miles, you could talk them into it.
Well, maybe you ought to try this.
I mean, they can, and they're good with, so good with kids. And I want, first of all, just say thank you both for being such a good mentor to our young kids.
Thank you.
It is so well prepared. You guys are getting them so well prepared for the future. And I sat back and I watch you, been around both of you coaches for a long time, and sat back and watch just the reaction from kids. And they love you. They love you. And I see it on their faces. They smile. They don't dread it. They don't say, I can't do this. Because you guys can make them where they can run through that wall.
You know, I just think about like last time we had you on with Cheyenne. Yeah. And Bulls, I don't know how you can watch that and not be brought to tears. Some of the things that she said.
Cried like a baby.
And I know that she can't be the only one that's experienced something like that, a feeling that there's no place for me. You know, I'm not wanted or not loved. As she said, it's there. You just have to look for it.
I'm really proud of the atmosphere that we have built. Yep. And we talked about it last time. The track and cross country atmosphere compared to other things is completely different. It's the best place to be, and best teams, best kids to be around. But we have a lot of kids that's really bought in the past couple seasons too. They've really locked in, and they're really serious about it, and they show up. And we talked about it last time too. Track's an individual sport, but you wouldn't know that with our team. No. They treat it as a team sport every single day, and I think that's what's so good about it, about our team.
Such a positive environment for us. Like, I think everybody feels loved. Everybody feels like they have a place and a home there. You see them sitting on the mats together, and sometimes we're one of the only teams that you see doing that, but track itself is positive. Everybody's suffered through something that their coaches talked them into.
They know what it is.
And so they can sympathize with each other, and they cheer each other on. And I think that we have veteran kids that want to share their love of the sport and that family with the other kids, and it just keeps trickling through our program.
My favorite is you typically wouldn't. I mean, we're in the school system. We know who hangs out with who and friends with who, but on our team, that doesn't matter.
No.
And if it wasn't for track, they'd probably never speak. But now they're all best friends, and it's perfect. We just love it. It's a little family.
Well, I'm so blessed because you two has had M, my little one, and y'all have really brought her out of a shell. She was in a shell, and like last time Cheyenne was talking, that she didn't know she could fit in. You know, Cheyenne wasn't the only one. There are others like that, and M was one of them. But and you guys brought her out of that shell, and now she's very vocal. And I was like, maybe you need to get back in that shell.
M's one of our little leaders now.
Yeah. She's our team mommy for sure.
She's very vocal, and I cannot thank anybody but you two for that. She loves you both. So let's get on to indoor. Let's quit crying. Indoor track. State's coming up this week. We just went through regionals and had some success at regionals.
Yep.
You know, Lucy Savage, I can tell you that she done very good this year. First time she's done it.
She went in ranked, I think, sixth.
Yeah.
And came out number 3.
Yep.
Yeah. So
third in the 55 meter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Also finished third in the high jump as well.
Yeah.
So and we already had 4 already committed to state and on time and throwing and stuff. And I'm this Grundy program, indoor program, is just knocking it out of the park.
It's really grown, and I have to put almost all the credit towards Chrissy. It really has grown the last couple of years since we brought her on. This year we had 11 state qualifiers, 17 all regions, so that means 17 kids scored and was able to put points towards that title.
And by the way, with that 17 number, talking to Tim, right after regions, I said, we got to figure out player of the week this week. I was like, got any suggestions? And, I'm thinking he's going to say, this one or that one. And he said, every one of them.
You really.
That was perfect.
He said every one
really
of
what
them.
it is.
And you'll ask them, they figured it out, and this year we had a lot of them saying, what do I need to do to score? How many points do I need to score for our team? What do I need to do for us? It really wasn't what can I do to get me somewhere. It was what can I do for the team? So they all deserved it 100%.
Where you need me.
Where do you need me?
So
Emma was like, I'll do whatever I need to.
Yeah.
She ran the 2 mile.
Yeah. She jogged the 2 miles.
She finished it.
She finished it. We talked her right into that. No.
You did. She told me, she's Dad, I don't know if I can do that. I said, it ain't up to me.
We did leave it up to her, but she chose.
Yeah. But anyway, back-to-back regional championship, girls. That's something to be impressed about. What went through your mind when I know you guys don't sit there and calculate points up. You just let the kids perform, I'm assuming. But now, mate, I know your numbers, and I don't know, Loni, you don't
I'm
work.
the more number.
Are you?
Yeah,
okay. So you do pick and choose where they want to go.
So I go find their best chance, and I show them what their best chance for our region, what their best chance for qualifying for state is, and I also look at what our best chance is to score for the team as well. And they all lock in on that as well.
They do.
They all will know before we even go where they should be, where they need to be, what they can do.
Okay.
So
With
I would say
with the
I'm more of a
girls,
numbers person.
you're like hitting like every spot pretty much.
Our goal this year was to score in every single event, and I do believe we did that. Actually.
Yeah.
We're the only team in the region to score in every single event.
So the boys, you had what, 3? 3 boys?
We had 4 boys.
4 boys.
And we still got 4th in the
Fourth
region.
place.
with only
Still
4
got
boys.
4th in the
Yeah.
region for 4 boys. So, and it'll grow next year at Southern, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I've already had, we're growing interest in a lot of kids. That's our goal, is just keep building, especially with the younger kids. And recently I've had a lot of middle school boys show interest in Asquith track starting. So I think we'll definitely grow in the future, for sure.
So outdoor track will be starting in probably 2 weeks?
We'll start next week, yep.
Yeah, after this week's state.
We'll start Monday, yeah. We try to get through this one. We'll start Monday.
Okay.
So really, the kids out there right now, it really don't stop. It just
No,
it keeps going.
And now we're going to go to nationals in a couple weeks.
I did
We
hear
had
that.
11 qualify for
Oh,
nationals.
wow.
And they were super excited for the 2 week, 1 to 2 week break after indoor finishes up before outdoor, and then they realized they have nationals, so now they don't get a break.
So where will nationals be held at?
Virginia Beach.
I did see that, Virginia Beach, okay.
March 20th through the 22nd.
Okay, good. We need to make sure we pay attention to that. Congratulations on that. So let's go back to indoor track. Man, it's such a good showing at region. Here you coming out of region. How are you getting them prepared for state?
Right now we're just sharpening everything. We're not really trying to grind too much. You want to stay fresh, but just reinforcing all the little fundamentals, and everybody still shows up, especially we even have the ones that are playing basketball. They'll come every chance they can, every free chance they can during the day to get a little, even if it's 15 minutes of work in. So,
helps them on the basketball court too, doesn't it?
Yeah, you got Destiny and Leah on the basketball
we
team.
have Madison, Sierra, Destiny, and Leah that are on the basketball team that are qualified for indoor.
So next stop, state this week. What?
Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday at Harrisburg. No, at Lynchburg, Liberty University.
You know, how is that? Are y'all actually competing both days, or?
Yes.
Yep. So they'll split it. We'll have summer and events and prelims on the first day, and then all the finals will be on the second day. And the field events are split for both days.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly, Roanoke is flat.
Correct.
Then when you go to Lynchburg, don't they have a?
Yeah, they have a banked.
They have a bank.
Yes.
Bank track.
So how do you think the kids will adapt to the bank?
Most of them have seen it before.
And our kids adapt easily. I mean, you see what our track that we practice on every day looks like. So you get them on a decent track after working on what we have, I think they'll just they'll do great.
Well, I'm very proud of you both, and I highly respect both of you. And thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, because y'all do such a great job. I can talk about you two all day, every day, because y'all do such a great job. And I appreciate everyone that what you do for our kids, especially giving back. You make sure you give back to our kids. You give them something, and they take something away from you guys, like further down the road. And that's what I like the best. Yeah. Either it's just tidying up your room, or if it's pick up your trash. You know,
learning that the hard way.
when they leave camp, you know, y'all clean up real nice and neat. And a lot of teams don't do that anymore, but I can always say Grundy does. Grundy tidies up the camp nice when they're there, and it starts with the leaders, with you two, and I'm just so daggone proud of y'all. Like I said, I'm partial because you've helped my child, and if you help my child, you've helped a lot of kids.
Yeah.
You know, and Cheyenne was here, and she spoke pretty vocal that I didn't even know she had, and I look at that and just think, wow, I'm glad she, and Ian tells me, she said, Dad, Cheyenne's just part of the team.
Oh yeah.
She's there.
Yeah, she's the
probably
heart and soul.
That's what she says. You know, we was out of Abaddon, and she fell coming down a hill. And she said, here I am, falling, coming down a hill, you know, Cheyenne. And she's so funny to be around.
She is.
And all the kids, you know, you've got a lot of kids there that loves you guys.
Yep.
Loves you guys. And I'm so proud. I'm proud that I can wear my Grundy shirt and walk into indoor track meet, because I know they're going to be disciplined. I know you're going to hold them accountable for their actions. You will hold them accountable for their actions, because I know, I've seen you do it. and that's the way it should be.
Yep.
And that's what I like. You hold them accountable, and anything that you put them in, they don't second guess. Some of them might, but then you talk to them, then you done changed their mind when they said no.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, they say, yeah, we'll do it. So
They don't know they can do it unless they try it.
you can't, never could is what I
And
tell them.
sometimes that's their best event later on.
Yes, yes. But I'm so proud of you guys. Good luck this week, state.
Thank you.
I'm your biggest cheerleader.
You have been.
I'm your
We
biggest
appreciate it so
cheerleader.
much.
More than you know.
Anything you guys need, of course, we'll talk after this, but let's get them ready for state. Let's go get some state champions.
We're
Ready.
excited.
Yep.
Excited to see what they can do. It's time.
Sounds great. But is that all you got? Tim?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Right. I appreciate
Thanks for
appreciate
having
y'all
us.
coming
Thank you.
today,
Appreciate
and
y'all.
definitely wish you best of
We wanna
luck this
pitch
coming
for you.
week at state.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.